Okay, so class, we're going to be doing a review on multi-step equations today. And to begin, we're going to start with two-step equation. We're going to start with this equation. Can anyone tell me what the first step may be for this equation?
Do minus 6 over to the other side
Yeah, why do you think we're going to do that?
to isolate the variable.
Good job. So we're going to subtract 6. So we're going to be left with 3p is equal to negative 2. And the 6's on the left side cancel out. And then what's our next step?
Divide by 3 on
Okay.
each side.
So divide by 3 there, and we're going to divide by 3 there. We're going to have p is equal to negative 2 over 3. Is everyone okay with that answer? You think you would be able, does anyone have any idea how we might check our answer?
Plug in p, what we got for p in the original equation.
Okay, so let's try that. So 3 times negative 2 over 3 plus 6 is equal to 4. And then we have negative 6 over 3 plus 6 is equal to 4. And negative 6 over 3 is equal to?
I have a question. How'd you
Yes.
get negative 6?
3 times negative 2, because this 3 can also be written as 3 over 1.
Oh.
And when you multiply fractions like this, here, you multiply across, and then, it's not negative, you multiply across, and then you'll have your new top and your new bottom for your fraction.
Okay.
So then negative 6 divided by 3, because that's the same thing as as dividing when it's a fraction, is going to be equal to negative 2. And we have plus 6 equals 4. And negative 2 plus 6 is equal to
4.
So 4 equals 4. So that's how we can check our answer. Now there's another problem on your worksheet that I want you to start working on now by yourself. To the right of the last problem. Is everyone done with the next problem?
Yes.
Can anyone tell me if your answer matches mine, what did you do first?
I subtracted 13 from both sides.
Okay, good job, and I did the same thing. That's the first step, right? And then what did we do next?
Divide by 4 on both sides.
That's the second step. And so we ended up with x equals 4. And then when you plugged it back into the equation, did you get 29 as your left side to match your right side?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And now, so that was a two-step equation because it only has 2 steps typically. And now we're moving on to variables, variables on both sides of an equation for our review. Anyone tell me what the first step in this equation I'm writing on the board may be?
Get all the A's on one side
Why would we do that?
because you're trying to solve for A.
Okay, so what side do we want to have A on, usually?
To the left.
So we're going to subtract 9A from the right side, and then we're going to subtract 9A on the left side. And when we subtract 9A from the right side, 9A minus 9A is going to be 0. So it'll cancel out. We're going to be left with 5 plus 5A is equal to negative 5. And what would our next step be? Because this is similar to a two-step equation now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Minus the 5 over. Like the
Which
first
five?
5. The first
Five?
one, yeah.
We're going to subtract that on both sides. And we're going to be left with 5A is equal to negative 10. Anyone tell me why it's negative 10 and not 0?
Because it's already a negative 5, and then when you subtract 5 more, it goes even more negative to negative 10.
Good job. And so then our final step is going to be dividing by 5 on both sides. And on this side, the 5s will cancel out because they'll become 1. So you're just left with 1A, and that's what we want. So A is going to be equal to, can anyone tell me what negative 10 divided by 5 is going to be?
Negative 2.
Good job. Now, there's another problem on your sheet. That is 6C plus 2 is equal to 3C minus 13. And I want you to try working on that by yourself. And someone's going to walk me through it. And when you're done, I need you to put your pencil down and raise your hands. Now, do I have a volunteer to walk me through this one?
Sure, I'll do it. Okay, so first, I minus 3C to both sides. And then when I did that, I got that equals 3C plus 2 equals negative 13. Then I decided to minus 2 to both sides.
Okay.
And then when I did that, I got 3C equals negative 15. And then for my last step, I divided both sides by 3. And then that gave me C equals negative 5. And then that was my answer, and I was all done.
Okay, did you check your answer at all?
I didn't know.
Okay, so if you were to check your answer, what would you do?
I would plug negative 5 back into the original equation.
And what's 6 times negative 5?
Negative 30.
3 times negative 5?
Negative 15.
Negative 28. And that's negative 28. So yeah, negative 5 is correct. Could you have plugged in the negative 5 into this equation as well? And gotten a similar answer? To check your answer instead of going all the way back here to where the C's were on different sides?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's always best to go back to the original equation just so you know your answer works all the way back there too. Okay?
Mhm.
Now if you're going to flip over your sheet, your worksheet, we're going to be working on the